the music, obviously, and the opportunity to make music with so many people at one time. It's a real privilege. That's the conductor's privilege. I used to play the bassoon. I did play in orchestras, but if you only have one line to play, sometimes it's not very passionate. It doesn't make you feel very passionate, although it should. But it's quite an incredible experience, especially with the repertoire that we were playing this week, which is very romantic and very passionate. To share this experience with this whole orchestra of wonderful musicians, that is very inspiring for me, and it's a real privilege. Oh, there are lots of conductors that I admire. Most of them are dead. I mean, my favourite ones when I was playing the bassoon as well were people like Claudio Abbado. It was very, very inspiring to me. I played a lot with him. I was very lucky to play a lot of Mahler symphonies with him, which was just some of the best musical experiences of my life. And I love people like Bernard Haitink, who are just a very, very honest and inspiring musicians. Maris Jansons, unfortunately, died recently, which was very sad. Every conductor loves Carlos Kleiber because he's such an elegant conductor, and inspiring people, of course, Karajan and Leonard Bernstein. They're all so different, and they're all such big personalities and inspiring musicians. So there are lots of people to look up to. This is a really good question about the preparation, because it changes every time, and the more that I learn, the more I realize that I just don't know very much, and I'm always learning more. Of course, you start off from the score itself, from the actual notes on the score, and you go through them. Normally you have an idea of the piece, unless it's a first performance. You've heard the piece and you have something you know about the composer. I personally go through the score in really great detail. I have this system of putting lots of colours in my score. Different instruments have colours, and I put in all the dynamics, first of all, just the very basic things. Then I analyse it, the harmonic structure and the phrase structure, the themes, the melodies, and you can go on forever and ever and ever. That's why I feel like I'm never finished learning a piece, because there's always more to learn. And then when you're away from the score, of course, then you have to look at all the history of the piece and the composer, and the geography and the politics and the situation that he was writing in, his personal situation at that time. And then also what you mentioned, listening to recordings is really, really interesting, because if it's an older piece, there are lots of different ways of interpreting Baroque or classical music, and with romantic music, every conductor does it in his own way, and it's not so. It's very interesting to listen to recordings. It's very interesting to listen to lots of different ones, not to listen just to one recording and then to kind of to always do the same thing, which is terrible. You should start off from the score. But it's really interesting to listen to recordings. On these days, you have YouTube. There are 20,000 recordings of every piece. Some of them are by a high school band, but so you don't really want to listen to them. I shouldn't say that. You want to listen to all of them. They're all very legitimate, and but there's so much to do in learning a score. You're never finished.
Never.
Oh, every time I have a wonderful time here, and each time when I come back, it's so nice not to be starting from zero, as it were, to know people and to know the orchestra. It's a lovely atmosphere, and I have friends in the orchestra now. I feel very close. I feel really that even this morning's first rehearsal was like a continuation of the last project. So I know where to start, and I know how the orchestra works, and every time I feel even more connection, and I know how to hopefully get the best out of me and the music and the orchestra, and it's a really rewarding experience.
Do you feel at home?
Oh yeah, I do actually, if I may say so. Yes.
People used to say in our social media that you have a very specific, particular smile.
Smile?
Yeah,
oh,
that
really?
you can, when the moment that you conduct, you smile. So you put this, how can I say, search this with the audience.
Oh.
They feel something when
Oh,
you
that's
smile.
really amazing. That's so nice. I'm really very happy and very emotional to hear that.
Yeah.
The concert this weekend is really romantic program. All the three pieces are actually in a way quite similar. Russian, romantic, the end of the 19th century, the beginning of the 20th century, but they're so beautiful, they're so gorgeous. I just said in the rehearsal, it's almost like eating too many cakes. It's so sweet, you know, you can almost have too much of it. It's like after you finish you want to go for a run or, you know, something to clean yourself, because it's just like, you know, having a bath in honey or something, because it's so romantic, but it's absolutely wonderful. I mean, everyone's been in love or is in love or will be in love or is unlucky or happy in love, and these pieces, all of these pieces are really about that. That's what I get this feeling of from these pieces. Incredible emotion, passion. The melodies are inspiring. It's you need to find a wonderful sound, a big, broad, sweeping sound, and the right kind of articulation. You need to balance the orchestra, but basically, it's just about enjoying this amazing sensation of these wonderful harmonies and melodies.
That's nice. And sweet never is enough.
Sweet's never enough. It's very true. Yeah. I mean, you just want more. You don't want more all the time, and then you wake up the next morning and you're like, oh, I'll have more.
I have more sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you for this chat. Always, it's a pleasure to have a conversation with you. We're gonna be sure that this concert gonna be a total success.
It's gonna be really gorgeous.
It's like a box of chocolates, and we don't want to never end.
Exactly, the endless box of chocolates.
And we hope to have you again soon.
Me too.